And welcome back to the Rus-Ter-Vaal High School. And this is, of course, the new incomplete high school, far cry from what was anticipated to be delivered to the community. But we heard from the MEC in the Gauteng Department of Infrastructure Development, Disney Motara, saying that they are following up with the said contractor. The same contractor, of course, also leaving an unfinished building at the Kopanong Hospital. And they are in the process of blacklisting Condo Corps. And I must say, we did also try to get in touch with Condo Corps, and unfortunately, no response to date. But they've left quite a bit of destruction in their wake, did Condo Corps. And we're going to speak now to some of these subcontractors who were also part of this infrastructure build, but unfortunately have not been able to get their monies, because you heard the department couldn't get hold of Condo Corps, we couldn't get hold of Condo Corps, and seemingly the subcontractors can't get hold of Condo Corps either. So let's find out from them exactly how much who is owed and what their contribution was to this facility. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. My name is Regan Koch. I'm the Managing Director of Nati Trading Projects. Was also a subcontractor here on site. And Condo Corps owes me very inclusive around 350,000. Also for loss of material on site, as well as my tools when the project was abandoned. And the last payment I received was last year in August 2021.
So what exactly were you responsible for?
I received the contract for plastering and doing all the screed work.
And did you do all of that for all of the buildings that we see around us at least?
No, not for all of the buildings. Halfway through like I said, the project was abandoned, and payments were not forthcoming, so we never completed. We completed, you'll see here, Block I as well as that one over there. But as you can see with the double stories, we couldn't complete the work because we were never paid.
So at what point did your breakdown in communication happen with Condo Corps?
Last year, August was the last communication I had with Condo Corps. We went to their offices. They had offices in Centurion, where we were promised that we would be paid a month from there, but it never happened, never sufficed, yeah.
So where are you right now in trying to recover your funds?
We've opted to seek legal intervention because we can't get hold of them. They're just not coming to the party. They're not very forthcoming. We've been trying to set up meetings as well with our local MMC, the MEC's office, but there's just no communication. There's nothing happening.
So 350,000 Rand owed there. Let's move on to the next subcontractor.
Good morning. My name is Betty Sandamela. I'm a subcontractor. I'm responsible for the painting on site. And, you know, I don't even know what to say because Condo Corps break us. As a woman, I took my last money to invest in this project, and they just ran away.
So just to be clear, given that the structure is by and large incomplete, how much paint work has been done here and how much are you out of pocket?
As I'm speaking now to you, I'm almost 200,000 out of pocket. And the project is not done yet. As you can see, like my colleague has shown you, Block I and Block H, we already painted inside. We were just supposed to do the final coats, and then the other buildings that's incomplete, and they would have paid us, but they haven't paid us yet.
So your last communication with Condo Corps?
Was also in August 2021. That's when we have last spoke to them. And we tried to have a meeting with the MMC, and they called DID. DID told us that we must go to the small claims court. And we asked them, how can we go to small claims court? Because we know small claims court work with people owed 10,000 and less. But how can you go with 200,000 to a small claims court? That was what DID told us in the last meeting at the MMC's office.
So 350, another 200,000, that's 550,000. So you?
Morning, ma'am. Okay, I'm Solomon Nell from Machinel Trading Director. And we are close to between 450 to 500,000, including now material and my tools on site. And we're doing the electrical on site. And as you know that this building wouldn't be so far if it wasn't for electrical, because we are at the start of this project. And 3 years now, nothing has happened.
So when you say you're responsible for the electrical stuff on this site, what exactly were you doing?
We did a complete electrical on the side, the tubing so far. In block A, which is the admin block, we completed the wiring, we installed the plugs, the switches, all of that was installed in block A. Block ES, we did wiring here as well.
So we have noticed that some of that wiring may have been removed, and I think at some point, the first time we came here, we were told that it was the subcontractors themselves who removed it when they were not paid.
No, they are totally lying. Us as subcontractors make sure that nobody gets on site. This is between them and the security that was on site. They must know about all this, because block A was completely locked. So how can anyone else go in there if it's locked?
So we're up to about $1 million now owed to the subcontractors, sir.
Good morning, my name is Godfrey Lawrence. I'm the director of MDCA Lawrence, but I must also mention that I was elected as the chairperson of the business forum when we established it in 2018.
So what was your involvement here?
I was doing the sewer. I did basically the sewer connection from the building to the main line, but I was not doing the main line because I was then told that is a very high profile job that need to be done by a company with a bigger grading, so I only did a connection from the building to the main line.
Because according to the quantity surveyors, that's one of the issues that would need to be looked at here. So with regard to what you had spent so far?
What I have invested back into this project, I've invested close to plus minus 500,000, but I must also mention that I still do have material on site. In the midst of us not getting paid, I still went out to go and procure some material. As we speak now, I do have material in one of the buildings, and that material is close to 150 to 120,000 rand. That shows you that they're eager for us to try and complete, because while some of us as business people, we are also activists within the community. So as business people, yes, we invested our money with the aim to say that we will try and assist for this project to be completed within time. But unfortunately, the last communication, as my other colleagues was indicated to you, to say that the last time we communicated with the main contractor was around August last year. And we even made it our duty to go to the offices of the contractor. And yes, eventually we found them at the offices, but that was our last meeting. We sat around the table, we came to an agreement, and that's it.
Ma'am, again, your name and your involvement in the Rus-Ter-Vaal High School project.
I'm a subcontractor. I'm Helen Smith. I did do the tiling here, and they owe me 400 plus. I don't know. I can't say. I don't even have words to say to those people, but they must be stopped, really.
So, in terms of the follow-up, and everybody says that their last communication with Condo Corps was in August. Up until that point, were you paid regularly?
No, it was only once.
Only once?
And it was not a half, it was a quarter or less than that. No?
Can I come in here? So Kina, when we started with this project in 2018, there was different project managers that comes from the contractor, and it's where we picked up as subcontractors that there's a financial problem within the main contractor. We tried to make the office of the MEC, who was now here, MEC Tasneem, we tried to make them aware to say that we see a financial challenge that we are going to have here with the main contractor. We even went as far as visiting the office of the MEC because there were 3 guys before us as subcontractors that came on board here. As you are seeing these buildings here, I can tell you now, these buildings has been built by the subcontractors here. They invested their money, but money was not forthcoming in terms of regular payments. There were times where we had to wait for 6 months, 7 months. For an example, if we take 2021, the last time that we got paid in 2021 was somewhere in March, and then up until August, we never got paid again. So a small business in medium enterprise trying to come up. These people actually came and they didn't empower us, but they actually broke us. And where we felt that the department failed, because as per the triple PFA, it says that for the disadvantaged communities like Rus-Ter-Vaal and the SMMEs, it is the sole duty of the department to ensure that we get empowered. And they were supposed to have done oversight to ensure that we are getting payments on a regular basis, and they didn't do that. Even though we made them aware that we are faced with these challenges. And where I felt that the department also didn't do what they were supposed to have done. I mean, if you look at the PFMA, the Provincial Financial Management Act, if the person who's accountable, if he had come and try and resolve the problems last year, whereby there was issues of penalties, he could have come and try and resolve those problems for us to be in a way of trying to complete the project. We might not have finished the project in February, but I think by now we would have closed it.
Okay.
But they didn't do that.
All right, so what we're going to do, there you've heard it from the contractors here, the subcontractors, and they haven't had any communication with Kopanong, who is the main contractor, since August. And we're talking about in the region of 1.5 million upwards, and almost 2 million rand that's owed to subcontractors on this project. And unfortunately, Kopanong is missing in action, and maybe that's where we need to follow up. But we'll wrap it up with the SGB just to get their final sense about this project, and of course the children waiting to be moved from that dilapidated site to this new building.